Good evening, my name is Litia and I'm from the beautiful island of Laos and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Casey, I'm from Tabua. We love Today FM in Tabua. Today FM rocks.
My name is Selena, I'm from Tavenga-Vengamba. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Pula, my name is Carlo. I love listening to the music in Today FM, in Malak Island. Today FM rock.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, Fiji's Sevens team defy odds to win Vancouver tournament. PM says we will prevail in the climate struggle. And no extra cost when hospitals are internationally certified.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
The Fiji Airways Sevens team and its coach Gareth Baber have once again stepped up when it mattered the most. Being under pressure and criticised from certain quarters after the loss in USA last week, the team today won the Vancouver Sevens in Canada, beating Kenya 31-12. And according to the team's skipper, there was a major factor that was the catalyst to this win. Varshnil Prasad has more.
Hugs all round for Gareth Baber, the head coach.
Having to shoulder the pressure of a Sevens-obsessed nation is something Coach Gareth Baber is fast becoming accustomed to, and his skipper has revealed the platform for today's win.
In this team, there's no expectation, as always said. Only expecting your team is teamwork.
His coach backing up the sentiments.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, you know, they all work endlessly to try and make the game what we want. They know the vision of the game. They work hard to ensure that, as Fijians, you know, they play the best rugby that they can in the way that they can, and you know, that's what we've seen here tonight.
The Fijians, backed by a majority of the fans, have also become the first team in the series to win 2 titles and storm back into contention for the World Series title.
Last weekend, obviously, loser to the USA. We knew we had to come here and get something out of this to keep the pressure on at the top, you know, top of the table.
Yeah, as I said, I'm really proud of the boys of how they work, and we are going for the World Series table. So yeah, I'm really happy for them to win this tour.
Fiji was stunned early in the match but came back firing with the man of match, Sevuloni Modenadangi, playing probably the game of his life.
2018 Canada Sevens final, and here come Fiji. They've got an offload out. It's Vakaru Nambili, and he's away, and that's what they can do to you. Go on the switch with Oliech. Oliech goes on the outside. Samuel Oliech. Okay, final play. Oliech, the try scorer. He kicks the far side, but that doesn't go the 10, but Fiji latch onto it. They're away. It's Mothana Thangi. And just as we saw...
With scores tied 12-all at the break, Baber's band of men schooled Kenya in after the restart. The players off the bench proving the comments of no one player is the star man.
The chip ahead from Nasila Silla, and running onto this is Fiji. It's Nanduva, and he's away. Nanduva's under the post, and that's what they do. They turn over the rugby ball.
There is no rest for the side as it now starts preparation for the Hong Kong tournament, the event which Fiji has owned, and already enthusiastic fans talking about making it 4 in a row at the Mecca of Sevens. Varshnil Prasad, FBC News.
Prime Minister and COP23 President Voreqe Bainimarama is currently in India attending the International Solar Alliance founding conference. In his opening statement in Delhi yesterday afternoon, the PM reinstated Fiji's absolute commitment to solar and other clean power to achieve 100% renewable energy in electricity generation by 2030. The COP23 president told members that with a global alliance, we can and will prevail in the climate struggle. Maggie Boyle reports.
The PM took a resolute stance that together nations can conquer their collective challenges.
As leaders, that by working together we can and will prevail in the climate struggle. I warmly thank the governments of India and France for their emphasis on innovation as the way forward.
Renewable energy, the PM reiterated, was the key to tackling climate change and ensuring the targets set out in the Paris Agreement are met.
At COP24, Fiji will be partnering with Poland to conduct a global engagement called the Landowner Dialogue, which is designed to increase the collective ambition of our nationally determined contributions, our NDCs.
The COP23 president is confident that the success of the Grand Coalition on Climate Action will limit carbon emissions.
And solar technology advances for Energy, transport and industry are a critical part of the clean energy mix we need if we are to have any hope of meeting the 1.5-degree target.
Meanwhile, the PM also met with Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi for bilateral talks before the Solar Alliance founding conference. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
Attorney General Ayaz Said Qayyum has confirmed he and the Prime Minister are suing two prominent politicians for defamation. Their lawyer, Devanesh Sharma, filed the proceedings at the Suva High Court last week. The papers filed are against Fiji Labour Party parliamentary leader Aman Singh and Sudelpa MP Ratu Iso Tikoda. In the first case, Singh had posted an unsubstantiated article titled Regime Dirty Politics on his Facebook page, claiming Bainimarama and Said Qayyum had orchestrated temple break-ins. In the second case, Said Qayyum is suing Tikoda for comments he made during an interview with the Sydney community radio station earlier this year, which was posted on Facebook page Fiji Exposed Forum. Tikoda claimed the Attorney General was engaged in criminal and illegal schemes and was abusing his powers as a minister and had ordered the military and police to arrest striking air terminal services employees. Sharma adds these complaints were denied by the Attorney General. More people are also expected to be sued for defamation in the next few weeks.
First one is where the Honourable Prime Minister and I filed some papers against Aman Ravindra Singh, and the second also in respect of where I have also personally filed an action against Tikoda regarding comments both of them have made separately on separate issues.
A man has been arrested after he and another man trespassed a family's house in Baulevu, Nausori over the weekend. The video, which has been circulated on social media, shows the two men who appear intoxicated with alcohol are seen hurling attacks against the family. The two allegedly assaulted the family by swearing and throwing sticks at their home and allegedly broke some louvers. Police say they are currently looking for the second suspect. Investigations continue. All residential or domestic registered FEA customers will be given free shares when the authority becomes a listed company with the South Pacific Stock Exchange. Enterprise Minister Ayaz Said Qayyum says the government wants to provide this opportunity to both pre- and postpaid customers, allowing them to participate in the capital market. Rachel Nuth reports.
Enterprise Minister Ayaz Said Qayyum says the process is quite demanding. However, government is working to finalize it. He says FEA is also looking for strategic partners to acquire shares.
When we actually give the portion of the shares as a gift to the Fijian people to get them to become ordinary shareholders in the South Pacific Stock Exchange, which they can then sell and buy and hold shares for themselves or the future of the children, it will enhance the value of their shares by getting strategic partners.
Said Qayyum says the government will hold 51% of shares, while 49% will be distributed amongst domestic account holders, divestment opportunities and a trust fund.
In 1 year's time, there'll be another 100 more account holders. 2 years' time, there'll be more, there'll be thousands more. So we're going to hold a certain amount of shares in trust for a period of time until all these people actually come online so they can also be given shares.
Opposition members also questioned the process of listing FEA shares on the stock market.
What percentage of the shares is the government looking at giving to the domestic users?
At this point in time, we're looking at 5%.
Can the whole process be completed, and when can this be realized by domestic account holders?
The commercial and financial requirements if you want to list the company.
Said Qayyum says listing the FEA will provide Fijians with a sense of ownership towards the utility. Rachel Nath, FBC News.
Fijians will not have to pay extra when the Lautoka and the Ba hospitals are internationally certified to provide health services to meet overseas standards. Attorney General Ayaz Said Qayyum says there will be no fees or tariffs for Fijians while accessing these services. Anna Ravulo has more.
Services that are not available in Fiji will soon be made accessible after a public-private partnership between the government, FNPF and an international certified hospital. The Attorney General says this will benefit both the public and medical personnel.
There are areas of oncology, there's areas of palliative care. All of these areas in medical services that are currently not available, or it may be available but in a very rudimentary sense. It's not in a highly specialized sense. So, Madam Speaker, many countries have done this, it's not something peculiar to Fiji, where they have partnered with the private sector and they've brought in those services within a very short period of time.
Opposition MP Moses Mboletavu sought clarification from the AG if jobs would be lost during this partnership.
What about the employees? Is there sufficient consultation being done on how they will be employed, or how the partnership will have to form up private entities to take them on board, to provide other service providers into the hospital?
As far as the employment conditions are concerned, they will continue. Within 6 months, they make the choice whether they want to stay with the new entity. Should they want to stay with the new entity, whatever hospital is going to be with FNPF.
Saad Qayyum adds they hope the expressions of interest and the final identification of their partnership will be completed by early May. Anna Rovolo, FBC News.
The government will not assess Monasavu landowners with their land development payment dispute unless there is a consolidated agreement between all of the landowners. This follows requests made to the government by some disgruntled landowners who wish to receive their payment directly without a lawyer's involvement. Rachel Nath reports.
Public Enterprise Minister A.R. Syed Qayyum claims a lawyer secured a $50 million deal for the Monasavu landowners, but took a heavy chunk as legal fees. He says the lawyer now pays the landowners on a 6-monthly basis. However, some landowners would prefer a direct payment.
And also makes an administrative deduction from that payment of that 6-monthly fee, which nobody's challenged. In fact, we've had some landowners who've come to see us to see if that can be reversed, if they can get the deductions directly for themselves.
FBC News understands there is a clause in a previous court ruling whereby the landowners can sign a petition to move the funds from the lawyer to the Itoke Land Trust Board. However, the 12 landowners have failed to come to a mutual understanding.
That if they are able to get that going, of course we'll be able to assist them in respect of any programs they want to get onto. As we know, in particularly we can assist them through the Itoke Land Development Fund that we've set up.
It seems a dispute between the lawyer and some Monasavu landowners over distribution and method of payment won't be solved until the landowners can agree on a unified course of action. Rachel Nath, FBC News.
Still to come, previous issuance of taxi permits wasn't structured. And Lambasa Muslim College signs up for Crime Stoppers program. Stay with us.
Bula, kera mai singatoka, kera ndo tali taka na varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Usi kombinasyon mo sekolah ndo tali taka na Radio Fiji 1 kena Domoy Viti.
Kaya kuya sila tali, nagurara may nawamanyi, nandunga. Gitu tali taki yang gitu Venezuela pun nagudurong, varorong na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti.
Na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti na ponga ni BNN.
The issuing of taxi permits undertaken by previous governments was not structured. Acting Transport Minister Syed Qayyum says in an effort to address the issue, tax zones has been introduced by the Land Transport Authority. Sanyan Imboilo reports.
The LTA has identified 34 zones depending on the demand from the public.
The zones are clearly demarcated, and within each zone they have identified the different number of taxi permits will be given for those zones depending on the population numbers and the use of and the requirement of taxis. Now, based on that, Madam Speaker, taxi permits will now be issued.
Syed Qayyum says the criteria for the issuance of taxi permits will also give low-income earners a chance to own a new permit. In response to a question from the opposition, he added the new permit will not affect existing permit holders.
What happens in the case of individuals or companies that owns more than 10 permits? When do they fall under this lotto, or Will they be given a separate kind of condition or?
No existing taxi permit holder will be affected by this process. So if you already have a taxi permit, you continue. Nobody's taxi permit will get affected.
Applicants who applied for taxi permit during the LTA permit freeze from 2011 to last year will be given the first priority. Sainiani Mboila, FBC News.
A school bus was completely destroyed in a fire in Navua along the Queen's Road this afternoon. Police confirmed the bus was empty at the time of the incident. Police have also confirmed the bus driver managed to escape before the fire engulfed the bus. An investigation is now underway. Fiji is committed to work alongside other countries to raise the ambition and implementation of the nationally determined contributions. Climate Change Minister Ayaz Said Kayum says NDCs spell out the actions countries intend to take to address climate change, both in terms of adaptation and mitigation. Kelly Vadala reports.
An innovative strategies that can make
Speaking at a Pacific Regional Dialogue on NDCs in Suva today, Climate Change Minister Syed Kayum says the Pacific suffers the most, even though we contribute the least to harmful emissions.
In fact, all of us are only one severe weather impact away from losing decades of development in a matter of hours. Make no mistake, every nation on Earth is put at risk by our changing climate. But Pacific nations face an extreme and unique vulnerability that must be reflected in our NDCs.
However, the United Nations Development Programme says Fiji's leadership role on climate change has got the world's attention.
Achieving the goals of the Paris Agreement is the best risk reduction tool we have available. By transitioning to resilient, low-carbon economies, we will reduce vulnerabilities while limiting further negative effects of climate change.
You're addressing education, food security, employment, healthcare. Traditional or imported medicines could be stored for longer.
This is the third Pacific Regional Dialogue on nationally determined contributions, where countries from around the region get an opportunity to share their experiences on climate change and also their needs on the implementation of the NDC. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
Lambasa Muslim College has become the first secondary school in Vanuatu to sign up to the Scholastic Crime Stoppers program with the Fiji Police Force. The program helps to curb student crime and violence in school with the cooperation of students and teachers. Eleanor Tarangaivu reports.
Crime and violence in schools are often the most talked about issue between parents, teachers and students. The Fiji Police Force is stepping in to help Vanuatu schools put a stop to this with its Scholastic Crime Stoppers program.
Scholastic Crime Stoppers program vision is to create a safer and crime-free learning environment in schools, and its mission is to promote a safer environment to live, study and work, and most importantly to refrain students from involving in any such criminal activities.
Lambasa Muslim College is pioneering this program for schools in Vanuatu. They have set up a board of directors made up of students to run the program.
The fact is that teachers and law enforcement officers, like police, cannot be everywhere at all times. That is why we need to get the students to take an active role in reporting crime.
As a new program, the Fiji Police Force expects that it will not augur well with students. And in order to overcome the students' lack of interest, the Scholastic Crime Stoppers program will offer rewards for successful tips that will lead to the solving of school crimes.
If you see or hear any wrongdoings, please do not hesitate to involve yourself in preventing and stopping criminal activities.
Already there are 122 schools in Vitilevu undertaking the program in their effort to make their learning institution crime-free. Eleanor Turangaivu, FBC News.
2 rural schools will now be able to address their difficulties as the Japanese government will provide over $200,000 worth of assistance. Nasekula District School in Lambasa and Wainra Muslim Primary School outside Nausori have been facing sanitation, water and space issues. The Japanese government, through its grassroots human security projects program, will be providing more than $82,000 to Nasekula District School. More than $175,000 will be given to Wainra Muslim Primary School.
Both these projects are in line with Fiji government's national development
objectives. And such harmonization is the key to Japan's development cooperation with this country. Since 1990, Japan has been providing assistance to grassroots communities in Fiji through more than 360 GGP projects, with a total value exceeding $24 million.
In sports later on with Jamie, Fiji will need an estimated $10 million to host a HSBC tournament. But here's Rachel with the latest in business.
Thanks, Jackie. Good evening, and coming up in business tonight. Annual FIA Congress to focus on cybercrime. And in Going Fiji, Sarasara Sewa line receives upgrade. Stay with us.
Moala radada ranavika, o tikongona taunu singatoka, ando talitaka na wakaronga ng Bull FM, number 2 na sere.
Ya dora subuni kurnambili, ibora ni batukara hambara binaranga, do talitakina na wakaronga ng Bull FM, number 2 na sere. Bula!
Bula FM, number 2 na sere.
In business tonight, cybercrime will be at the top of discussions during the 46th Annual Fiji Institute of Accountants Congress in May. FIA Council member Rajeshwar Singh says this will be the first time cybercrime is discussed at the Congress. He says there's a lot of concern about cybercrime, and it's vital to bring in the right speakers from the regional and international levels who can share the experience and see how to address the problem. Singh says dealing with issues that impact the lives of individuals is difficult. However, cooperation amongst agencies will make things easier.
We know very well that as technological advancement, things can get much harder and much challenging. But I think the more we talk about it, the more we can find solutions to these issues. The better we'll be equipped in dealing with these issues. So I think this forum or the Congress would be more on the advocacy end.
And we now join HFC with the latest from the money market.
Thank you. Let's review the action on the South Pacific Stock Exchange last week. Looking at the share price movements, Amalgamated Telecom Holdings shares increased by 4.1% to end the week at a new all-time high price of $2.26. VB Holdings Limited shares increased by 12.75% to close the week at $5.75. Please Global Limited shares rose by 0.88% to end the week at a best price of $2.28. Vision Investment Limited shares had a growth of 0.96% and ended the week at a maximum share price of $3.15. Consequent to the price movements, the overall market value ended the week at $2.03 billion, an increase of 2.15%. And that's a wrap from our local stock market in Accra.
Thanks for the update, Rocco. Looking at today's currency exchange rate set this morning for the Fijian dollar. Our dollar was generally on the rise, gaining against the Chinese yuan, the US dollar, the PNG kina, the euro and the yen. Taking a look at the commodities market, oil prices were down at $62.23 a barrel. Gold rose to close at $1,322 an ounce, and silver followed suit, closing at $16.59 an ounce. And in Going Fiji tonight, Lambasa pedestrians and motorists are advised not to use the Upper Sarasara lane for the next 10 days. The Water Authority of Fiji, through its contractors Reboth Pipeline Civil Works, is undertaking a sewer pipeline upgrade along the lane. The work started today and will end next Thursday. Detour routes have been established via Park Street and Sorawa Street to accommodate any inbound and outbound travel requirements around this construction zone. And that's business this evening. Here's Jamie with sports.
Thanks, Rachel, and good evening. Up ahead in sports, FRU pleased with Baber's progress, and Fijians shine in T14 matches. This and more coming up.
Mai Femila
मैं रुकू रेकी रेकी से सुबह मेरी आँख खुलती है तो मैं मिर्ची एफएम सुनती हूँ। मिर्ची एफएम इज नंबर 1। इट्स सो हॉट।
हम लोग बार टाउन के केरिया ड्राइवर लोगों ने हम लोग के मिर्ची एफएम सुनो अच्छा लगे। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट।
हाय, मैं संध्या नारियल रेफ्रिकी से। मेरे सारे दोस्त मिर्ची एफएम सुनते हैं। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट। आई लव मिर्ची एफएम।
हमें स्पिन टोटो ताबुआ के मिर्ची एफएम में सबसे अच्छा गाना बजे।
मिर्ची एफएम इट्स हॉट।
The Fiji Airways men's 7 side became the first team to win 2 tournaments on the World Series this season after beating Kenya 31-12 in the Cup final of the Vancouver Sevens this afternoon. Meanwhile, the Fiji Rugby Union believes that despite the growing competitiveness of the series, the structures laid out by coach Gareth Baber is paying dividends. Vasnil Prasad with more.
The jubilant mood at the Fiji Rugby Union headquarters told the story of what Gareth Baber's employees thought of him and his performance in Canada.
I must thank and congratulate the coach, the management team and likewise the players for outstanding performance this morning.
Baber quick to point out his players are the reason for the win and the mentor not taking the gloss off the win but talking about individuals.
We hadn't really played much in the first half and weren't at the level that I wanted, and they responded second half and produced the rugby that Fijians can, and it was great to watch.
Despite a slow start, Baber has started to produce results needed, something which FRU agrees on.
We got the players and the talent. It was just a matter of them gelling together and working together for a short space of time. And now I think the players understand each other and the coach getting to gel well with them.
Revelations also that skipper Jerry Tuwai had to miss yesterday's last pool match due to an injury scare.
Against Kenya yesterday evening, Jerry, who we thought might have had a suspected fracture, wasn't available, and Wise Lethugu stood in for him, and Wise did a fantastic job.
With this lack of the serious, just tell them, just give everything, don't hold back, and after this we are going home.
For now, it's about Baber enjoying the moment and then drawing up the strategies for the remaining tournament, because despite the win, his job is not over. Vasnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
Meanwhile, Fiji beat South Africa 15 points to 12 in a nail-biting semi-final this morning. Fiji's tries coming from Joshua Vakurunembili, Kalione Nasoko and Aminoni Nasilisila. Here are the highlights from that match.
It's the first try coming for the man in the green and gold. It's Zushaiser near the sticks. Here comes the captain, Snowman. Vakurunembili over to Motha Nathangi, looking for his buddy and connecting. Look at him go. It's nice work from Africa, chasing some pace out to the left. And now connecting with Sage. Dylan Sage darts away from the defence. It's hard work at the breakdown. Now Silla. Silla over the top. Motha Nathangi. The ball across for Nasoko. Nasoko, the skip and go. Nasoko gets the green line and floors it. At the two sides, you'd think that Fiji may have a little more in the tank. Up they go here and slap it back. It lands beautifully for Silla. Says South Africa, taps and goes himself. Africa, tries Wapi, drops it cold.
Fiji's quarter-final match against Argentina came a lot easier than expected. The national side cruising past last week's losing finalist 43-7.
Last weekend lost out in the semi-finals against the United States. Kick has finally gone 10. It bounces, sits up nicely. Motha Ngati for the line. Fiji have 2 in a row. So back to that right-hand side. And now they go with Kunabula on the outside. Kunabula putting on a show here in Canada. Silla gets it away. It's still available for Tuwai. Throws the pass up the top. It's going to be Champagne Rugby. The blitz box in the Cup semi-finals and running rampant. Now Silla. What a breakout. So fun to watch. Fiji in full flight.
Meanwhile, Fiji has climbed up to second place on the World Series table With 2 titles in the bag, Fiji has earned 101 points, 8 less than leaders South Africa, which finished 3rd in Vancouver. New Zealand slipped to 3rd place and has 92 points, while Australia is in 4th with 84. Fiji will need an estimated $10 million to host the tournament on the HSBC World 7 Series. The figure was revealed by Acting Prime Minister Aya Sayed Kayum in Parliament today when responding to a question posed by opposition leader Rotemu Mukepa regarding Fiji's recent bid. Ali Kimbia with the details.
The performance of our Fiji Airways Sevens team will not determine the outcome of our bid to host a World 7 Series. Acting Prime Minister Aya Sayed Kayum says our infrastructure needs to meet the required World Rugby standard.
It may cost $10 million, but that is not to actual host itself, in the sense that there may be some need to build some infrastructure to be able to host the Sevens itself. For example, if you go to Dubai, they have structures that are set up on what they call a temporary basis.
Sayed Kayum says if the FRU's bid is successful, the tournament is most likely expected to be held in the West.
There's obviously various options that may be looked at within the Western Division, whether it's Prince Charles Park, Nandi, whether it's Churchill Park, or wherever it's some other place. Other organizations like the Fijian Holdings has actually looked at investing in sports also. The Fijian Holdings wants to actually invest in a permanent structure in the Western Division.
Questions were also raised by opposition members on players' contracts. However, Sayed Kayum says the FRU is an independent body and the government has no right to interfere in any matters pertaining to the players or FRU.
How much the Rugby Sevens players have been remunerated?
That the Fiji Rugby Union is an independent body, and the World Rugby requires it to be independent.
Fiji hosting a leg of the World 7 Series will have a series of benefits to various business sectors and most importantly the tourism industry. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
After its 33-21 victory over the Samoans, the Fiji Warriors take on Junior Japan in the second round of the World Rugby Pacific Challenge tomorrow at Suva ZNZ Stadium. Coach Rusi Servakula says while the players have confidence in their abilities, they can't afford to be complacent against Japan. Heroni Tuinuku reports.
Playing for the top spot in the Pacific Cup competition will not be a walk in the park for the Warriors.
The guys have full of confidence. They have the confidence to go out there and showcase their talent. So it shows that they can do it if we have 15 men, and then if they stick to the game pattern, and everything will be going okay.
Maintaining discipline will be a key factor for the Fijian boys if they want to beat the Japanese.
Everything will be going okay. So the time they were out of they were overconfident and they're not doing what they were supposed to do, and it brings a lot of mistakes to the team. So the message was that I put to the runners to go and tell them on the field for the last 10 minutes. Let's go back and stick to our game pattern.
Fiji Warriors captain Moses Evoka says Japan will be a tussle and the Warriors must work as a team if they want to win.
Good for the game tomorrow against the Japanese, because and they're expecting that game against the Japanese tomorrow.
If the Warriors beat the Japanese, they will have the upper hand to retaining the Pacific Cup. Meanwhile, ANZ Stadium will see Samoa A will take on Tonga A tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. and followed by Fiji versus Japan at 5 p.m. Eroni Tuinuku, FBC Sports.
Meanwhile, a number of flying Fijians were in top form for their clubs in the French T14 competition. Clermont's Pedeliato, Montpellier's Timothy Nangusa and Stade Francais Waisiana Levu, all breaking the line to score for their teams. In the NRL, Fijian-born Wanga Blake was in outstanding form for the Penrith Panthers yesterday, scoring 2 tries in the 24-14 win over the Parramatta Eels. Fijian Bati rep William Ekika also scored for the Panthers in the win. Joseph Kwajo is set to take on Sivan Hermes in the Majesty Boxing promotion, which will be held at the FMF Gymnasium on Saturday. Kwajo, who makes his return to the ring after a year, will face a tough New Zealand-based Hermes in the main bout. Promoter Sudesh Ram says there are 10 bouts scheduled for the evening And with all systems go, they look forward to an exciting night of boxing.
As far as the main bout, the overseas boxes are concerned, it's all paid for, everything is okay. And also the fight was sanctioned few weeks back. Also the venue has been paid for, and the 25% pay of the boxes during signing of the contract was paid for.
In today's Play of the Day, former world #1 Tiger Woods narrowly misses out on first tournament win since 2013. Paul Casey closed with a 6-under 65 and won the Valspar Championship after watching Woods come up one putt short of a playoff. That's it from sports tonight. Join Angie later on with weather, and in new media, we check out a phone that can detect the smell of chemicals. Details coming up.
Bula, kera mai singatoka, kera ndo talita kana varorong na radio Fiji 1 and ndo moi viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kombinasyon mo tikola ndo talita kana radio Fiji 1 kina ndo moi viti.
Kaya kuyaga sila tale. Nagurara may nawamanyi, nandunga. Gitu talita gini ang gitu pinasabali, nagundurong barong na radio Fiji 1 nando moi viti.
Na radio Fiji 1 nando moi viti na ponga ni BNN.
In new media tonight, a phone that can detect the smell of chemicals has been unveiled at Mobile World Congress 2018. And it's weather time now with Angie.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. Such an amazing start to a new week. It's almost mid-March and weather is getting much more better. It's quite hot though, so ensure to keep yourselves hydrated. In the west for today, a terrific weather scenario is experienced here, makes the scenes look so much prettier. Eastwards from Peck Harbour to Suva, a muggy day with few showers which didn't last long. And up north, quite breezy with overnight showers expected. At sea, east to southeast winds 15 to 20 knots with moderate to rough seas. And looking at the tides, high tide will be at 3:30 a.m. with low tide at 9:15 a.m. Sunrise will be at 6:08. For tomorrow, we can expect a beautiful day with loads of sunshine and perhaps few light showers in the eastern division. Tomorrow's temps, all the centers will be in the lower 30-degree range. And looking further on to Wednesday, a clear day is expected. And that's all from the FBC Weather World. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. In Fiji Pulse tonight, we asked, should Gareth Baber maintain the core of the current squad to the Commonwealth Games and the World Cup?
Yes, I think Baber should maintain this place because this place is a very good place.
I think Baber has proved that most of the new coming players have proved themselves, and I'll vouch for them too to compete in the World Sevens and the Commonwealth Sevens.
I think Baber should think twice about going on with his team if he want to include the overseas based play as well. Commonwealth game is not a short-term preparation, it should be the long-term one. So if you want to include the overseas, I think this would be the best time to bring them over to Fiji and be well prepared for the Commonwealth.
I think this team should be maintained because they know each other very well since the time they're playing together till now. We witnessed that during the final just a few hours ago. I think this team should be continued till Olympic, sure, till the Commonwealth.
Baber should maintain this team because they have been playing together and they understand each other and the way they play.
In the world of the the weird and the wonderful Flippy, a burger flipping robot, has begun work at a restaurant in Pasadena, Los Angeles. It is the first of dozens of locations for the system, which is destined to replace human fast food workers. Recapping the main stories, Fiji Sevens team defy odds to win Vancouver tournament. PM says we will prevail in the climate struggle and no extra cost when hospitals are internationally certified. Now for these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question, the results from last week, we had asked, should an international standard facility be built in Fiji to host big sporting events? 77% said yes. This week we are asking, should more police posts be set up around the country to counter criminal activities? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, our shot of the day, sent in by Vashnil, taken while on his way to work today, and he was greeted by these two puppies on the road. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was the FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, stay safe. Good night.
Wrong on the radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kung minasama mo ko lang, untuk talit na radio Fiji 1 kina Domoy Viti.
Kaya ko sila tali, naguraramay na omanyi, nandun nga. Gitu talit tagi yang gitu Venezuela, nandun rongo. Barong na radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti.
Na radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti na buong ni BNN.